Breaking, yes, tenth day today in Biafra land as the indigenous people of Biafra lose a member in hot, fresh attack. Yes, as the Prime Minister Simon Ekpa blows hot. Okay, yes, don't forget we are your Exposed News TV. Without further ado, we'll go into the details of this news. Alright, tensions have continued to rise in Biafra land as another violent confrontation between the security forces and members of the indigenous people of Biafra, of course, left one dead and several injured. The incident occurred in the early hours of the day and has further heightened an already volatile situation in the region. The latest clash took place in the outskirts of the Biafra land or Imo State, where some members were reportedly under attack from a joint task force of the Zoo Republic and police units. According to eyewitnesses, the forces ambushed the gathering of the members who were holding a meeting to discuss plans for future movements. While the full details still remain sketchy, it is confirmed that one member was found dead in the assault, with several others sustaining injuries. The identity of the disease has not yet been officially released, but the death has sent shockwaves through the Biafran community, with many accusing the government of launching a brutal crackdown on peaceful. Yes, but of course you know that nowadays we are not going with the peaceful. Yes, we are tired of going with the peaceful, as the Prime Minister Simon Ekpa has decided to go back to back with this set of people, because of course it has come to that extent, it has reached that extent where it has to be taken seriously, and that is the truth of the matter. We continue with what is going on. Okay, as it dey be, this continue. The latest clash took place in the outskirts, and of course, one dead, the others injured. Local residents has described the scene as chaotic, with gunfire erupting without warning. A witness has said that we heard gunshots and saw people running in every direction. They were shooting and shouting. Everyone was scared, said a local who witnessed the attack from a distance. In response to the deaths, the leaders have called for immediate response across the region, condemning what they described as state-sponsored terrorism. My people, which is not a joke, this state-sponsored terrorism is what has been taking place in Biafra land. Yes, and tensions has run high in Olo, and it has remained high as residents brace for further unrest, because it is very, very heartbreaking. Yes, of course, the PM Simon Ekpa has also responded to what this has happened. He says in a fiery broadcast shortly after the attack, Prime Minister Simon Ekpa, the controversial leader of the Biafra government in exile, lashed out at the Nigerian authorities and vowed retribution for the death of the member. Ekpa, who has gained a reputation for his hardline stance on Biafra's independence, condemned the government for what he called a cowardly and unprovoked attack on his people. He came out and said, of course, that this black day will not be forgotten. Ekpa declared in a live stream watched by thousands of his supporters, the blood of this fallen hero will not be in vain. The Zoo government must answer for their crimes. We will continue to resist this occupation, and we will not rest until Biafra is free. Ekpa's words have further inflamed on already tense atmosphere. Of course, that is what it is supposed to do, for him to know that, or for people to know that we are not going to give up or sit and watch these people do what they do. We are not going to sit down. He is not going to sit down and watch. with calls for revenge resonating among his followers both within and outside the region. His warning of escalated resistance has raised fears of more violent confrontations within the that is ready for the battle that is coming up soon. So my people, be ready, because you do not know what will be happening soon. Okay, on that note, where Obasanjo himself just came out and made some kind of comments, my people. Yes, he just came out and made some kind of comments concerning the civil war. My people, it doesn't really concern us. This particular ex-president, we know during his time, of course, when he ruled in the military time and came back again and ruled again the second time, he had enough time to do whatever I don't know whatever he's saying. But then, of course, the most important thing for us to have in our minds on is that we ourselves as Biafrans must do the needful. Okay, my people, he's talking about the Biafra war. Let us see what he has said. He says here, Olusegun Obasanjo, the former president of Nigeria, recently spoke at the conference on youth leadership titled Opportunities for Peace, Roles of the Youths in Conflict Prevention in Africa. He called on youths to be advocates of conversation over violence, highlighting the critical role that youths play in promoting peace. My people, I made this thing recently. I say we cannot go down if you've not done the needful. Peace is not even an option right now. If people have decided not to give us what we want, if you've decided not to give us a Mazinam, the Kano have decided not to give us our Biafra freedom, our Biafra referendum, peace is not an option. And so whatever you say now in a conference might be true and will be moved by gullible people that do not know what the true movement for the Biafra army or the true movement for the Biafra is. They are the ones that might look into it. But the true people know the reason why we've been fighting this hard and we've been fighting for this long. And that is those are the people that will not give up, or that will not be moved by these gullible speeches that he's making at this particular point. He said, according to Obasanjo's article, he said that the country has shown resiliency during the civil war by returning to the round table for settlement in spite of severe conflict. He exhorted the youths of today to adopt this mindset and convince those who lean violently to think twice. Additionally, he emphasizes the significance of fostering a culture of peace and empathy in the next generation. In Obasanjo's words, during the Civil War, we killed ourselves mercilessly and destroyed our best facilities, but we still came back to the round table to get the challenge resolved. Youth must develop the culture of peace, the culture of humanness, the culture of living the way God wants us to live. Okay, so now this is what he is advising them to do. But then to do what is needful, we Biafrans have always been people of peace. We have always wanted peace in our lives. Every single thing about us has always been about peace. We are not people of war. We do not want war. We have never ever wanted war. But then it is the situation people put us into that make us want to lean to war. Yeah, of course, that is the situation. We are not people of war. I don't know if he's trying to say that the war and everything that is happening now is how. No. The youths of nowadays, the Biafrans of nowadays, are leaning into war because that is what they have pushed us into. Because that is the situation they have pushed us into. We did not just wake up one day and decide to wake up and push ourselves into war. The reason why the Nigerian army and the Biafra Liberation Army, the BLA, are clashing 24/7 is because of the fact that they have refused to do the needful. They have refused to release our leader, Ohamadike Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Yes, that is why we are leaning into war. They have refused also to give us what we've been asking for the longest of times after the civil war. I believe you me, if they have given us what they want instead of leaning into the civil war, my people, I do not think we would have been here by now. I believe everywhere we would have been on their own. They would have been on their own. And we would be where we are because, of course, there is no need for any war and we would be happy with our state. And by now, I believe you me, the kind of progress we would have made would not be one to even be trifled with. But of course, na so it dey be, na so it dey hot. Once you come for these conferences, they will just make it look like everything that is happening now is our fault, because violence is not the answer. Aneku, aneku, aneku. None of this is going to make the real Biafrans turn away from what is needful. The people that cannot be turned, cannot be swayed by these gullible talks, they know the real fight, and they are not going to give us. And so on that particular note, nothing of such can make us give up on our fight or stop doing whatever it is we've been doing ever since. And so because of that, we'll keep on fighting and doing the needful no matter what. So yes, my people, this is where we've come to the end of this particular broadcast. Thank you for joining us. Remember to subscribe and turn on your notifications too.